wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to QuestJunkiesUK. Welcome back to the Underdark and to our continuing exploits in Out of the Abyss. And it's a pleasure to have you all here already. Welcome, my friends. Good to see you all. McClever Votaria, OG. Good to see you. OG, have you recovered from? And McClever, you too. Have you recovered from Careful Cantrip yesterday? Whew, it was quite the mid-season finale. I hope Dag was okay, and hope everyone's doing grand. Oh my god, no! Right, OG. I just caught it on my lunch, and it was it was a ride. Okay, but I'm glad they did it. They did it proud. We've suffered character loss in our games, and I think we did it justice as well. It is, as DM Dave was saying, it is a very important thing that needs to be given the due diligence that it deserves. Was very sad, eh? Yeah, there's a good bunch over there in McClever. Right, but we are here in different darker deeds. Today, we delve into the library.
Ah!
Dun, dun,
Knowledge!
Dun. Knowledge, lore drop. Ah, yes indeed. Okay. So, absolute pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to support the channel, please do so by supporting the wonderful folks who support us down here. Timely Logo, CZRPG in particular, as they are doing our giveaway today in celebration of our new campaign, which began at the start of the week. We have started a new campaign, a fantastic group of adventurers kicking off things very nicely in Tomb of Annihilation. We have the fabulous Encounters in Chult, which are going to be in the giveaway there, like Votaria has there. Please, !enter for your chance to win this fabulous collection of jungle adventures. Play them as one-shots, drop them into your campaigns. Also, amazing stuff from CZRPG. Cool encounter design, beautiful maps, interesting items and monsters. Do check them out. Thank you, OG. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've been wanting to play it for a long time. And do not fear, we are going to get the balance between hex crawl and RP moments just right. We have been thinking hard about that, how we want to play that. I'm going to get that. I had good practice with this game, right? This is another one that's fairly, famous for being a bit of a resource management, delve into things. But I think we've extrapolated things rather nicely. Having Zakan just automatically able to find food everywhere and anywhere is also helpful.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Zakan will be with us in just a moment. I'm afraid it seems our good friend Buns Corbin is not able to join us today on account of storms taking out their power, unfortunately. But everyone, pray that they'll be able to get back online soon.
Them spirit bomb Wi-Fi
And
gods in chat.
Who knows? Maybe they will jump into things halfway through. We shall see. All right. So, yes, as I said, those wonderful people down below here cycling around there. Do check them out when their links come through chat. Lots of amazing things for your games. And in addition to that, let me also shout out our Out of the Abyss art from the fantastic Ryutoshi. Hey, Warrior, how you doing, my friend? No worries, good luck with your game. And check out the amazing Ryutoshi there if you want some beautiful art of your OCs or campaign characters. I love their style, awesome stuff. And you can check them out on Instagram there. And, of course, is that everyone? I mean, apart from the interesting noises, there's some very nice sound sets coming up today for the library. I hope you enjoy them. So, everyone, if you would like to get awesome sound effects and music, original compositions and everything in your game as well, and the ability to upload music like we have here, check out our YouTube VODs for the list of all the music composers that we use. But if you want to have all of that flexible and at your fingertips in your games, and the ability to send it all over the world, wherever your players may be, you know, the Wakiverse family is very spread out from New Zealand into Japan, in Vietnam, the UK, Norway, Canada, and the US. That wherever those lovely players are, you can get the cool sounds to them and get that atmosphere up and running with the fabulous Sirenscape. And if you would like to support us as well, you can link over there through that affiliate link. And yeah, OG, we got a bunch of players from all over the place. OG, that's because...
Sun never sets on the Westeros.
Absolutely. Apart from the connotations of the original version of that phrase, being a Brit as I am. Past that and move on to the Wacky. Wackyverse is much more generous in
supporting
their
and loving.
But yes, OG, that's mostly because the majority of our players are people I met here in Japan and then have gone back home to their various corners of the world. So yeah, it's always great fun. And then the wonderful people such as our friend Alexi here, who we got to meet afterwards through this lovely community of folks that we have here. McClover, by the way, that reminds me, speaking of community, we need to have a seat at the table sorted for you and Baron after the generosity of that previous stream.
Mom's here!
Everyone behave.
Dun, 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 dun.
How you doing, Stephen?
Well, what are we doing, gang? How are we doing?
Nothing
Mom,
yet. We're just
I screwed up.
shooting the shit, as they say.
Yeah, we're shooting the breeze. Nothing suspicious. We're good.
Just hanging out.
Is Bun still being assaulted by Zeus, the almighty
I'm afraid so. Smitten.
god of lightning?
Smitten in the wrong
We're
way.
trying to send spirit bomb energy to like light up their house.
Yeah.
Lend me your energy.
Yes. Hey, Daisy, how you doing, go? Alright, okay, everybody, so let us remind ourselves. Last time we made the rest of the journey through the Underdark, guided magically by the ring that you had procured from the trading post of Mental Earth, and arrived first, meeting your basilisk guide for the last part of the journey, who very respectfully hit their gaze down and didn't petrify any of you into solid stone, and you followed them for the last few hours of your journey, eventually arriving at the fantastic stone giant library that is Graven Hollow. Now, let me see if I can find that art. Where's that art gone? Player handouts?
Probably.
That sounds good. Concept art? There's a bunch of concept art in here. Cool.
Oh.
I didn't know the concept art was in here as well. Sorry, I got distracted. There's concept art for oil buckets and slag buckets. I'm confused.
I have questions.
Look, here you are. These are slag buckets.
Interesting.
Right?
Very okay.
Must be from like Gracklestug or something. I got confused. Right, very polite of the Basilisk, right, OG? Yeah. Very considerate. Ooh, Smurf Nibbling concept art. Oh, it's great. Look at this. Nice.
Look at those little
Ooh.
beans.
It's cool that they shared it.
The little guy.
There you go. Da-da-da. Look at that one with like the full helmet on. It's great.
Love.
Looks like a woodlouse on his head.
A little bit.
Oh, by the way, Kalo and Anastasia, and probably Zakan to an extent as well. How were you with that guy's accent? That Swerf Niblin accent I linked to in that YouTube short. That is a full-on Scouse accent.
It is okay. Because I was like,
Very strong. That's
it's
great.
like I swear I know what he's saying.
Right? I think the hosts of the podcast or whatever he was doing did very well.
Follow along with him.
Right? Okay, so let me find out. Mental Dareth. Graven Hollow, where are you?
Still with all the books.
Found it. There we go. Here you go, guys. So here was
here
the
at the
grand
library.
entrance of the library. As you arrived at the Stone Giant's library and made your way inside, you were greeted by a little Galibdur guide who emerged from the wall, created by the magic of the library. By the way, Corbin's not here, but something that Corbin would have noticed as you arrived, like her hair thing that reacts to phase res, and the concentration of phase res, just went insane. It went nuts as you arrived in this place. This place is just dripping with phase res magical energy that suffuses the Underdark in certain places, and is a creation of its magic. And the Galibdur appeared, and you looked down into the central well. There was a wide kind of boulevard around the edge of this central well with chambers going off into the various parts of the library, on that level, and then you saw walkways, bridges, stairways leading up and down, and I think it was Kalo peering over the edge of the well, just saw it going down and down and down until it faded into darkness beyond their dark vision and the lights of the library, which were being created by scintillating crystals illuminating up in the ceiling above, and seemingly infinite depths of the library going down below you. Now, speaking of, let us enjoy said wonders of Sirenscape and jump into the library proper. Thank you, Sirenscape. By the way, one thing that they don't put in the literature is the way that Sirenscape has some sort of uncanny ability to like accentuate moments perfectly and like finish pieces of music at just the right time. Or unleash Godzilla growls at just the right time. Like last time. Let's go here.
Gojira.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, not spooky at all. Too loud, sorry buddy. Okay, so as the shifting crystalline light from above illuminates the scene around you, you are stood there with your Galabadur guide, and he turns, he's like, "You have traveled far, you must be needing rest. Please, your quarters." He's like, just goes off down the walkway and stops and looks back. "Please, your quarters."
Interesting pleasantries. I suppose we'll have to be quick learners. Anastasia, Zakan, shall we?
We shall.
Yes. Could use some rest.
And you are led to openings in the cave wall around the balcony here, and you look back, and the exit isn't where you left it. Like, things have shifted. Like, your focus is now on your accommodations, and it seems that the library is also focusing on that.
Concerning, but not surprising.
Yeah.
In the least.
Yeah, there's no like malicious kind of feel to it. Now. Oh, geez, suspicious stuff. Good news, my friends. The quarters here, being as they are magically created, are created to your desires and needs. So, let us go across the table and meet these lovely players of ours and get their input here. Kalo, our Drow Paladin, what does your room look like? Now, please maintain a certain stone motif.
Good question. Let's call it a cross between a dwarven forge and probably.
Sorry, I don't have miniatures and stuff like that. Sorry. Oh, you.
Damn. Let's call it a cross between, like, Gauntlgrim and the Drow encampment in Mental Dareth. Sort of like the aesthetic being like mostly stone walls, but you can get sort of like the braziers on the wall, just kind of lighting sparsely. There's probably a little thing of armor or a little like statuette where he can put his armor on. But definitely filled with a lot of like that fungal antique, very much like home. He's been out in the bout for a while, so being properly home, he's just trying to get some of that shall we say mushroom core instead of cottage core to his quarters.
Noted. Anastasia, our human wizard.
She's human. She's human.
There are inverted commas on the overlay for a reason. Yes.
Surprisingly, when you go in, it is very pale. It looks almost like a marble. It's very clean and simple. But in the middle, there's a giant, tall tree growing through that has pretty little fruits and flowers on it. and a large window that is magically showing a very pretty landscape of like the ocean. It is very calm and serene and peace.
Me too, OG. The gallop there is like, the dream world. And you remember, you know that stone giants think that the surface world is a dream and doesn't exist.
It's like, yes, dream.
He nods knowingly. I see. Now, Zakaran, as you bid a good rest to Kalo and Anastasia, I think you see Corbin also kind of go towards their chamber, and they kind of like push open the door, and just a cacophony of animal noises comes out.
Like a fucking zoo in there.
And you see them go, and you head towards the final doorway and your quarters. But something interesting happens. There's kind of a flickering and like a disturbance in the air on the walkway in front of you, and then kind of washed out, like kind of overexposed kind of look, but an almost like slightly kind of crystalline, kind of fractal kind of edges to some of the vision. You see a male gnome appear and start walking towards you along the veranda, along the balcony.
I wasn't aware that this room was occupied.
Oh, not coming out of the room, just coming along the walkway from like around the edge of the well.
Oh, I see. I was like, wait a second. Why do I get a roommate?
Yeah, no, on the outside.
Budget cuts in the the library here.
Hitting everywhere, all levels of the. And
yeah,
he.
So I think they notice it because they like hesitate almost to go into it. And so they notice this on the edges of their, rather perceptive vision and turn towards him.
Okay. And he nods. Hey, Marin. He nods at you. He acknowledges you. Seems to be aware of your presence.
Good day to you.
Yeah, right there, mate. Yeah. You thought it was a no, but it seems to be a Surf Nebula.
With the regional accent.
Yeah, right there.
Yes, I'm tired, but all right. Would you happen to be with the library?
Oh, no, just visiting.
I wasn't aware they had visitors.
Oh, plenty, I think. And he passes and goes past you. And the Gallop Dur, that big stony hand comes onto your forearm, holds onto your forearm to get your attention. Echo.
Of a different place or a different time?
Time. You'll see them all over the library. And you kind of step to the edge of the well and look down. You actually do see 3 or 4 more similar looking echoes, different races, different folks. Let's have a quick look here. You see a female halfling with an eye patch, one stairway over, making their way down lower into the library. Let's have a look here. The long curling horns and red skin of a male tiefling. Another couple of stairways down, just crossing. Actually, it's a walkway going directly across the well that they're passing by in long robes, kind of trailing out behind them, looking more like a kind of scholarly, kind of wizardly type. And the Galeb Dur says, "Echoes. People who visit, have visited, will visit."
How interesting.
Rude to ask when.
Understood. But may we discuss things with them?
Don't see why not.
All right. Something to keep in mind.
I will discuss with them, or have already. Good rest.
One more
and he just,
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Sorry. Are we free to wander the library, or
Of course.
asked to remain in our quarters?
No. You have been allowed to arrive here. So, you are allowed to go where you will.
Thank you.
Merely seek what you are seeking. And if you are meant to find it, the library will show. Eventually.
And they nod.
Druid friend has stone speaker crystal.
Yes, they forged a connection.
Can ask questions. Answers given in visions.
Just within our rooms.
Within the parts of the library. Past, present, future. One question per day. Per level.
I see. That's very specific.
It is a powerful thing.
Yes.
Draw too much power, entire library collapse, all crushed to nothing. Your choice.
Concerning. I will reflect upon what it is I wish to seek. Your welcome is appreciated.
We'll come back after rest. Take breakfast orders.
Go in peace, my stone friend.
I wonder if we have enough sausages. And he starts to walk away, and as he does so, he just merges with the floor, slowly, like he's going down a staircase that isn't there. Just like with each step, just gets lower and lower, and just the top of his head is just, and then there's like a faint ripple in the stone and disappears. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, the bacon, yeah, of course, McLovin, yeah. Well, they have the what are they called? The cow-like creatures that are down here. They have these like yak-like creatures that live in the Underdark.
Oh, I always forget. They look like the Highland coos.
Yeah.
They've got like the long hair.
I forget, but yes, they exist.
The Roth?
Yes, the Rothe. Yeah, the Rothe. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
So I think sort of a last lingering look at the well, and then Zakan goes into their quarters.
Okie doke. And here, away from the prying eyes of the outside world, in this separate place, you all rest undisturbed by visions and intrusions from without. You may all take the benefits of a long rest, should you need them. And the next morning, you emerge out of your doors at various times, as you wake up and get your stuff together. And it's strange, like, whereas before the doorways just went straight onto the thoroughfare, the main kind of walkway outside, when you walk out through the door in the morning, there's like a small communal space with a stone table coming up out of the floor and benches before another doorway beyond it, which you can see leads out onto the thoroughfare that you'd seen yesterday. Who's the early riser?
I mean, I think it's usually Zakan, who is a very, very light sleeper and, 100 years old.
Yeah, you've got to that age where you only need like 4 hours sleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the elven thing, but...
Yeah. So you guys wake up and Zakan's there, on a magic scrying pool watching Matlock.
Gotta get them stories.
Watching those stories, yeah. But yes, as you all gather, the Galabdur politely manifests outside the room and then comes and knocks on the door to come in.
Are you awake?
What sustenance do you require?
Rothe bacon, if you've got it.
Not it. Others?
Do you have
Just some toast.
mushrooms?
Hold on, you've come down here with a nice potential for a real meal, and you want mushrooms.
I like mushrooms.
Yeah,
At least saute them, cook them, just raw mushrooms.
All sustenance is created magically by the library.
So they're magic mushrooms. You know what? I'll add mushrooms on mine.
I don't have like a suitable like sitar-laced like trip music. Damn it.
I'll take some bone broth and toast.
Again, they can manifest anything they want, Anastasia. You can get anything. Listen, they talk about the outside world like it's dreams, right? This whole thing is a dream, so you might as well enjoy it while we're here.
The guy like over to the table, just like places a hand which kind of merges with the stone of the table, and then everything you ordered appears. Ta-da!
Thank you.
My compliments to the chef. You rock.
There is.
Go home.
John laughs.
Go
Shame.
home.
Shame.
You get a disadvantage, Crystal.
Just one disadvantage. It's fine. It's cool. I'll take it. I can take it. Just give it to me, John. That was bad.
He doesn't. These do not sound like yummy breakfast. I don't know. The bacon and mushrooms is pretty good, right? Just Anastasia just slamming it. Sorry.
Food hasn't tasted right for a little while.
The Galabdur just like stops, and you're seeing his back. You know, he doesn't turn around. Just like, I see what you did there. Just keeps going.
Like,
You see everything. You should have seen it coming.
Now, you discuss your plan of attack here over breakfast. So, over to you, my friends.
What plan of attack here?
I had some conversations before retiring, and it seems that we are able to inquire not only about things that have happened or current knowledge, but also about things that will happen.
So the main goal of coming here was to discover how this whole mess started, and thus hopefully find a way to stop it.
I am curious about your previous conversations before. This is a place where apparently...
Mike, you're pretty quiet. Can you?
Yeah, let me see what I can do to
sort
fix
that.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How's that? Is that better?
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Zakana, I am curious about these conversations that you had before in a place where things seem to shift and move any way that we want to. How can we discern what's real, what's happened, and what we can actually glean from all of this?
That is my question as well, but I'm not entirely sure beyond the fact that the power at work here, it feels correct, real, even if this place isn't. Actually, John, could I have, prior to sleeping, Zakan would have been like meditating and things like that. Could I have done one of my, what's it called, primeval awareness to sense presences of things within 6 miles, mainly with this kind of like seeking of, is the place we are a physical location in the Underdark? Like, would those sort of usual creature pings go off, or is it like completely blank when trying to sense
fiends, celestials?
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead? And generally, like, there's just those light pings all the time in the Underdark, because the Underdark is like that. But I think the interesting result would be if there was nothing, like if we're kind of in a weird pocket.
Was monstrosity in there?
Monstrosity is not.
Okay, so I was just checking for the basilisk, so I don't not too alarming. Why? that's the basilisk. Okay. Then elementals, you said?
Elementals, yeah.
Yeah, lots of elementals, because the Galabdur are elementals. Here and there, but it's weird. Like as you're meditating and your sense is going out, they ping and then disappear again. So it seems like the one that you've met, ones you've met. You're not sure if it's the same one or different ones each time. Although at this point, the evening before you'd only still met one. They seem to just be produced and disappear as the library needs, and so they are just coming in and out of existence in various locations around. Have you become accustomed to sensing Anastasia?
Yeah, I think so.
well, the book to be exact.
Yeah. And so they'd be kind of trying to stretch to like those very far like limits of it, like within those 6 miles. So ignoring what's immediately close and past that.
You sense nothing but elementals.
Yeah.
So you think that your senses and the actual location you're in is somewhat removed from the rest of the Underdark. Because if you were still physically in the Underdark, you would still sense within 6 miles, surely.
Yeah. And I think, probably like camping before arriving at the library, like it's just sort of a ritual that they do.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Trying to sense
things.
And
you sense Jakushin.
Yeah. So the fact that like all those little pings have, winked out and it's just quiet beyond this little library pocket space, combining that with...
It's actually probably quite relaxing.
Yeah. You can sort of let their guard down a little bit, and the fact that there were like, echoes of other people from the past or future and things like that.
But nothing pings from anyone there, although regular lineages wouldn't ping.
Yeah. So I think to Caleb's question, they sort of think about it and they say, last night when I was meditating, focusing on this place, we are not specifically in the Underdark. We are somewhere else.
Like Gauntlgrim? Where else could we be?
There are places on top of places, and places next to places. Not in a... And they kind of rub their head, since intelligence isn't their highest score, and say... Places that exist but aren't here. The places of the gods and spirits and where other things exist.
Divine, perhaps. Well, that would explain why everything's so easily malleable. Well, we might have another chance encounter, if we're lucky, if it truly is sort of supernatural. Anastasia, you seem particularly calm about all of this. Does any of this concern you? Are you more curious about the library?
It seems more interesting than scary to me, but my limit of fear is a little high.
Speaking of limits of fear, I think now would be a good time to discuss your tome. Your book.
was going to say your general conversation tone. Don't like your attitude, young lady.
Your tone seems very pointed right now. You kind of sound like a raging bitch.
Hey, no tone policing.
That's my middle name.
Yeah, no tone shaming here.
Tone shaming. I actually said tome, so the fact that we went to tone is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
We
Thought you
misheard.
said tone.
We misheard on purpose.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's the lowest form of comedy.
Well, I gave you guys a pun, so you had to give me something back.
Of course.
So you're not concerned at all that your book is a bit demonic in nature?
Not really. Just a little temperamental and misunderstood.
Not words I would describe anything fiendish, but as long as it doesn't attack us, and it's attacking everybody else. I mean, granted, you are quite potent with magic, and frankly, I don't worry about things outside of here. But eventually down the road, we will have to address it, so I just want you to keep an eye out on that conversation a little later down the road, if the Khan hasn't already talked to you about it.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Is that how the phrase goes?
Burning is what I have in mind, yes.
Little Galabdur manifests in a fire safety warden's outfit. Please refrain from.
No fires in the library.
Kidding. Sorry.
Red fire extinguisher.
Although I
You see
do
this little
wonder, Anastasia, your power, did it manifest after your finding of the book? Does it derive from the book?
I knew very little magic before the book. I was in the process of learning how to read books to obtain their magic. And then circumstance had me in possession of this one. And because of my previous learnings, it made this portion very easy. So it is definitely the book. But I had to learn to be able to use the abilities from the book. I could give this to you even, and you might not be able to crack a spell out of it.
Almost certainly not, given my nature and lack of affinity for books.
Zakan touches the cover and just the hand just starts burning and charring.
I feel like that's rad as hell. Actually.
It's like, wait a minute.
Canon. Well, as long as you're not looking to find anything in this library, I think that our hosts would not appreciate it, but you seem quite familiar with libraries and research about the Abyss. It was. And we will rely on those skills. It was before you joined us, but we were charged with coming here specifically to, well, try and determine why it is that these abyssal incursions are happening, and, if possible, their source, how to stop them.
Very noble mission.
A necessary one.
Well, whenever you're ready to get started, I'm assuming time is of the essence.
Can we look around the library? Maybe?
I'm assuming? It's like, just what's the timey-wimey shit down here?
Definitely. Okay, so you, finish up your various orders of breakfast and make your way out onto the walkway around the bottomless well and the maze of stairways. What? Now, you guys can, on behalf of Corbin, you can ask them to use the Stone Speaker crystal for something in particular, or you can look for stuff in the library itself. So basically, while you're standing in the correct, relevant section of the library, thanks, McClover. Once you're standing in the relevant section of the library, you can ask a question and receive a vision about the past, present, or future.
And we get one per day of each.
Yeah,
like,
so three
section.
in total. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and everyone remembers the new cantrip law, yes? So you can
Yes.
wipe your cantrips for the day and have
This is
them.
very fun.
This is
You
where I put
choice.
my cantrips.
You
If I
choice.
had them.
It's like, behold! It's like Carl Urban. Behold, my cantrips!
If I had them.
Zakan's arms just full of cantrips.
I can't hold all these cantrips, guys.
My cantrip spilleth over. Okay, so what would you like to? Well, which parts would you like to head to? Past?
We should probably be pretty strategic about this. If we're going to make use of our time and make the most of this place, one question per day for each time frame, we should probably see how it started, where it's going, and what happens if we don't leave this library. I don't know if that's how it works, but it would at least give us a good starting point as to exactly how many of our fiendish foes there are.
So for the past, how it started, for the present, where the source is, perhaps, where it's centered on. Whatever it is that's happening right now, it's got to have a center. And then, well, I fear I know what would happen were we not to leave this library or put a stop to what's happening. I've had visions of my own to that nature, but
You also think whichever librarian is in charge of the present would be interested to hear what you have to say as well, as they are
exchange knowledge.
Yeah, they focus from the reports and like what you spoke of with the basilisk. It seems that they're kind of focused on giant cultures and stone giant, civilization down here in the Underdark. But this kind of thing affects everyone. So
Maybe for the future, I could be interested to know where the next site is. We always seem to be a step behind these rituals and these summonings, barely able to put a stop to them, if even in the times where we have.
Good point. We'll need to be tactful about this.
as you step out onto the walkway, one of the stairways going down into the depths below is directly in front of you. Just an opening in the kind of barrier around the edge, and you see one of those echoes, Zakan, so you can show the others, and they appear to be a human female in their early 20s. In her early 20s, it's and wearing long, pale robes in kind of like whites and sky blues, kind of a satiny sheen to them, long blonde hair, and a circlet around the top of twisting silver and platinum. And she rises up and she's like, "Good day. A good rest, I trust."
Good enough.
Splendid. Have you found what you came for, or are you merely starting out on your journey?
We're on the first step of the 1,000-step journey.
Oh, then happy hunting. Oh, where are my manners? Silverhand. Illustrial Silverhand.
Hey.
Stephen and I just went.
Ring a bell.
You?
Indeed.
What is it that your hunting has been focused on, Master Silverhand?
Mistress. Female representing. She says, "Oh, just, wizardly this and that. It's always good to know where one came from." Anastasia, do you know who the Silverhands are?
No.
Okay, she's one of the daughters of Mystra, the goddess of magic. I believe. Let me get my law right.
Anastasia's
sounds
just kind of going
correct
to
to
be
me.
Lariel
staring wide-eyed.
Silverhand is the current open lord of Waterdeep. And also one of the daughters. So I assumed this is a sibling.
Anastasia, is that true? Do all wizards just look for existential crises in these libraries?
I definitely would assume at least more than 30% do.
That is an oddly specific number, but with where we are right now, I really shouldn't be asking that kind of question.
You ask too loud, the library might take your question for the day.
Shit, good point.
The wizard kind of laughs, kind of like a tinkling laughter, and it's just like, "So, might I be of any assistance?"
Are you the past librarian? Or the present librarian?
No,
You
come
need
on.
to ask about time.
Shouldn't ask about such things.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
Elbows
no.
Kalo.
Good point.
But definitely not here and now. They have this like washed out fractal essence to them.
Maybe you can give us some advice on how to best frame a question to these librarians with your past experience.
The librarians, unless directed to by the library itself, will not realize you are here. They are just about their own work. But if you're looking for information, then you merely need to set off with the desire to find it. And she closes her eyes and looks at Corbin. Or you could ask a more direct question. And she seems to sense the stone speaker crystal.
Do you know if this place, does it have a normal passage of time?
Most certainly not. But you will finish when you are supposed to finish. A good friend of mine likes saying, the right place at the right time.
I see. I just worry that we
No.
are running out of it.
In the meta, that might allow you to kind of guess where she's from. Did you get that?
In the right place at the right time.
That is Arafor Tan's phrase, catchphrase, referring to adventurers being in the right place at the right time, the fated ones, as we call them in the Wackyverse, and she referred to it in the present tense. So certainly before right now. How far back we're not sure.
She's
But-
a little...
And she says, You'd be interested to see all sorts here coming through. Those who are meant to use it and do not have immediately bad intentions are allowed to visit, but do resist the urge to strike out violently at anything here. It is not tolerated.
I swear to God, if you throw another fireball, I'm going to throw you into it. She like angrily yells into her book.
Alastriel looks over and her eyes kind of widen. Yes, good luck indeed. And there's like a kind of glitch and she just vanishes.
So follow your heart and the answer will find you.
That's a little too sentimental. That's boring.
Seems like the answer.
I suppose we think of the place that we want to go and we should arrive there.
Well, it's going to be tough because I think we're all thinking at the same time. So someone who leads has to have a very strong thought about it. And the rest of us can probably just tune out.
Well, shall we start with the past then, where these things usually begin?
I think that's fair. Corbin, you've been a little lackadaisical over there. I'm going to wake you up. Just going to grab Corbin. 99 bottles of Za on the wall, 99 bottles of Za. Just follow Zakan and group.
Okay. Yeah, the walkways that surround the central well are wide and mostly empty, with the occasional galapadur or visitor echo moving by. Each level consists of the well opening, surrounded by a wide walkway connecting the rooms dug into the surrounding wall. Bridges cross the well at regular intervals and also connect to stairs to the levels above and below. No matter how far down you go, there are always more.
I'd like to not go too far down.
Okay. So Corbin resists the urge to cannonball.
I've got them, don't worry. 23 bottles of Za on the wall.
Is there
They just disappear
like a
into
pool?
the distance and then reappear from the ceiling. Like, oh shit! It's like
Oh, shit.
portal gun.
Portal style.
I almost just want to leave them there. It's sort of a work of art.
Just
Webster joins in.
pull it out of it.
So, which
Is there
section?
a pull towards any direction? If Zakana's like focusing on the past.
You can you think, you look around at the level that you're on right now, and you see, above all of the doorways that lead off to actual archival rooms on the level. They have dwarven or runes, which are also used to the giant language, and you can see that they're dwarven runes, but you can also all easily read them. And everyone in the library has a comprehend languages spell cast on them all the time. So you can...
I had that already. Now I have.
Bonus.
Get redundant.
I can do double languages faster.
You can comprehend more.
And Anastasia has the etymology of every word underneath it as well. Too much information. But yeah,
I can smell colors.
over every door in this level, it seems to be the level that's regarded in the present. It says in these dwarven runes, "The present is like sand, ever flowing and escaping one's grasp without mercy or respite." It's carved above every doorway. And you head towards the stairway where your illustrious friend had just appeared, and descend into the depths, kind of looking over into the slightly dizzying view down below. And after a couple of levels, you see that the inscriptions above the doors change. And again, in Dwarven runes, it says over each doorway, "The past is a crystal, for it can be seen from many facets, yet it always remains the same."
Poetic.
Very. Write that down for later.
Now, are you searching for something physical, or are you going to use the stone speaker crystal? I don't think she's rewriting.
Well, if we're trying to find the origin, we're going to want... I suppose it'd be a physical question, wouldn't it?
I think basically the crystal is just an easier way to find something specific without having to search it out in the archives itself.
Yeah.
And then once you've used your one try, if you want to see other stuff, then you'd have to physically look for it.
So, stone speaker crystal.
We ask Corbin to, focus on the crystal and towards how and why did this all start? What was the purpose of creating this breach between the Abyss and the Underdark?
Okay. As Corbin manifests that request in their mind, you see the crystal glow, and little facets of light, little sparkling pinpricks of light just appeared within the depth of the crystal, and then also in the air around the crystal, expanding until you're all kind of enveloped in this cloud of these little shining crystal reflections. And then you find yourself transported to a different vision.
Someone think too hard.
As the vision created by the stone speaker crystal coalesces and becomes clearer, Kalo, you catch your breath as you find yourself very unmistakably within the furnishings and architecture of Menso Buranzan. You see a chamber in front of you, clearly belonging to some sort of arcanist. The trappings of wizardry are on display all around. And an imperious drow arch-wizard in spider silk robes is seen in front of you. And as they turn, unaware of you observing this, as it is something that has already come to pass, Kalo, you recognize Grumph Bainray, the arch-wizard of the College of Magic, and the one whose book Jarlaxle said they needed you to retrieve, so that they could potentially put an end to this. As you observe the scene, Grumph casts a mighty conjuration spell. And as the ritual draws towards its conclusion, Corbin kind of grasps up their head where they have that part of their braid that reacts to phase res and winces in pain as a web of phase res energy expands outward. The wizard seems alarmed by this, his efforts to complete the spell growing more crazed as he realizes he's lost control. And then madness. Rifts open in the web of energy around him. These cracks stretch and widen, and through them come horrific fiends that scream, shriek, and howl as they are wrenched from the abyss and cast up into the Underdark. A female, deep, dark laugh echoes in your mind as the drow wizard shrinks away from the demonic hordes he has unwittingly unleashed. Does anyone have a passive perception of 13 or higher?
Yo.
I would think Zakan does.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Zakan, you also notice the no, sorry, what do you see me? You recognize the iconography of House Bernray, one of the strongest houses of Mensa Branson, on the wizard's robes. Let's see. Yeah. So, between the two of you, you know who that is, and you know what has happened there. And then, just as this madness swirls around you and the gibbering hordes of demons from the abyss just emerge out into the material plane, the vision fades and disappears.
And Kayla's going to look up at Zakan with a sort of knowing but astonished look. That bastard. Did he know? Zakan,
Wasn't even.
Go ahead.
It wasn't even for anything. It's just an experiment gone wrong. All of this suffering.
They've experimented before. No, this is usual. They would usually pray to Loth, but this doesn't seem like Loth's doing. I thought I heard her.
That did sound like her laugh.
That had to be her, but where did he go wrong? It happens all the time. I've seen it in the higher houses. Buy and raise many things, but I would think Jarl Axel would have told us they were stupid.
Would you know how to get to this house were we to go to Mensa Branson?
I would. But trust me when I say you are going to have to hold me back.
Okay, you
Anastasia.
that would definitely done very stealthily would be a good idea. Dangerous place for you to be. And any non-drow. Sorry, Zaka.
Anastasia, did you sense anything in that ritual that went wrong or was tampered with, corrupted?
DM, do you want me to roll like an insight or
It's okay.
investigation
No,
or
I think
history?
as the vision said in the description, you definitely saw this wizard lose control of a spell.
He wasn't strong enough to keep a hold on what he was working with. To put it nicely, he just couldn't control it.
Sorry, Nix, you're a bit quiet there. Can you reach yourself a bit?
Hello?
Don't eat it. You had breakfast already.
Such rituals, what does it take to undo them?
A lot.
What do you define by a lot?
Preferably, someone who knows what they're doing, bare minimum. Someone who can control something powerful, like this spell. Multiple people preferred because, the more hands on deck, the easier a situation could be. But At the very least, someone who has more training, someone who maybe has done something similar before. Plenty of knowledge, materials, some probably unwilling.
You also know, Anastasia, that if it was a summoning or a transportation spell, then the instance of the beings being brought here, that would have been the end of it. So it's not a case of dispelling it so much. It's of doing something new to counteract what's happened.
Yeah. He wasn't just trying to summon something or send it over. If that was the case, there wouldn't be more. The spell would have been over. There's something more that's going on than just a simple summoning spell or teleportation. It wouldn't keep going like this.
So, some thing on the other side saw its chance and decided to push the door open.
He saw someone swing open some double-sided doors, and they didn't realize how much of a storm was on the other side. And probably couldn't close it. So yes,
And
someone definitely took advantage.
as the vision said as well, like it described them as being wrenched from the abyss and flung into the Underdark. So they weren't like stepping through a doorway; they were being pulled through, like being blown through an airlock.
He threw open the doors and didn't realize how bad the storm was on the other side.
Corbin's like, oh, yeah, it was like my room last night.
Yeah, I heard a few things. I was a little concerned.
It was amazing. You should have seen what was in there.
Zakan, look away. Just covering all four eyes on the map.
Don't bring Mom into this.
So I suppose it wouldn't be enough to just kill this spellcaster and dispel their magic.
I don't believe so. I think we need someone else to make a new ritual to fix their mistake, instead of just dispelling it altogether. If you did it properly, it would be something as simple as just waving a hand and dispelling the magic. But he's apparently a little incompetent.
Which says a lot. That's one of the most competent mages in all of Menzoberranzan we're talking about here. So we're going to need someone much more competent. And I don't know if we have it down here.
Anastasia's a little offended.
Yes, not yet. It was a little. I'm on edge. I'm restraining myself from the potential of actually killing this man when I get to him. Sorry, my mind's a little out of it.
It's fine. I'm sure we could find someone. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but maybe that's something we need to look for in the library. The name.
I suppose in that case, what I would want to know is what Menzoberranzan is doing about all of this. You'd think they'd have the most interest in closing these rifts, sending it all back. We have to know if they're with us or against us.
I'd like to hope they'd be with us since we're trying to help, but understandable.
It would take something of this level to change the pride of the Drow of Menzoberranzan, to have them stoop to collaborating with others.
Don't I know that?
Okay, now, would you like to look for other past events here physically, or would you like to go to a different level and use the crystal again.
I think what Zakan would be interested in trying to find would be like, I guess exactly what they were asking about. Is there any precedence of people like sending abyssal things like back or returning, you know, fiends to their realm on any kind of large scale, and if so, what it would take? And I don't know if all three of us are allowed to, like, you know, go look for different physical things, but for Zakan, that's what they would be interested in. Like, has anyone done this before?
Yeah, you could certainly spread out and then come back to a like agreed location. So, Zakan, would you like to give me just a moment? Could you give me a where is it? Sorry, I should have made a memo of this. So I'm just finding where it is. Sorry, guys.
Thanks. Thank you, chat, for joining us for the educational portion of your Out of the Abyss program. Sponsored by Sirenscape.
This is a lore episode, y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Damn it! I saw it before. Where did I see it? It's a wisdom check.
Take a look. It's in a book.
There it is. So yeah, give me a wisdom check, please.
Just straight wisdom?
Yes.
Okie doke. And would I be allowed to, before that, cast a spell?
I don't see one else.
In that case, we are going to cast Enhance Ability upon
Would I be able to
oneself
cast
here.
a spell like we smash cut to the doorway behind you, and that fire officer Caleb Gurge like peeks around the corner?
What are you doing?
Kind of spell. Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're separated from like time and space, like I wasn't sure if it would actually work, and I guess Zakan won't know until they try here.
Yep. So you're trying what, sorry?
Enhance ability, and specifically the owl's wisdom.
On yourself or a friend or?
On mineself.
Okay. So yeah, give me a wisdom check then with that advantage. Is it advantage or plus?
It is advantage.
Okay.
So I thought about just doing guidances, but that is also a concentration. So I'm going to take the 1 hour of advantages instead. And thank God I did, because that first roll was a natural one.
Hey.
And the second roll was a natural 20.
Nice. Got them, folks. Let those phoenixes fly. Both.
Attaboy. That's how you do it.
Nice.
Tip the scales,
1,
baby.
2,
Thanks,
3,
owls.
4.
So that's a total of 24.
Okay, so yeah, very. You set off into the stacks, and here, the where is it? Archives of the Past. Yes. As you go into the rooms surrounding the walkway in the levels of the past here, the Archives of the Past, all of the rooms contain crystals of many colors. And then they light up the rooms in all these different colors. And there are tablets and cylinders and stelae, just all arranged in the various cabinets and things. And you have that thought in mind, and as you step out of the we step into the first room. I think you kind of did the stone speaker crystal vision out on the walkway. You step into the first room and you see that the markings there on the shelf that contain a bunch of tablets arranged neatly do purport to exactly what you're looking for.
Mhm.
And you said you're looking for instances of this being done before?
Yeah, so like if in the past the abyss has like broken through into the Underdark, like if anyone has stopped it, like mortal or celestial or anything, like, and if so, what it took, how they did it.
Okay. You you find a story of a village. And this village, Mike, I can't remember if you were still in the game at this point. This is something that happens in Descent into Avernus. This village was attacked by ravening hordes of gnolls, and the gnoll lord Yinogu.
Mm-hmm. Inagu, yep.
This is Yinogu, isn't it? Yeah. There's an accounting of Yinogu himself and these gnolls and followers of his attacking a village. And as they attacked, all seemed lost, and the villagers were held up in a temple, and the gnolls were battering down the doors, and Yinogu, the greater demon himself, was crashing through the buildings and destroying everything in his path. And then a brilliant beacon of light shone from the skies, and the angel Zariel, this is before pre-falling, the angel Zariel, astride their battle elephant, flying elephant, the the fabulous golden-furred Lulu, came swooping down from the skies and drove back the forces of the Abyss and cast them down. And it is a rip-roaring tale of this amazing battle that happened between the Celestial and the Abyssal forces. But the thing that you glean from that is that the only way that's really known to send them back is to destroy them on the material plane, at what point they will rematerialize in the Abyss. And it goes on to mention that the only way to destroy them permanently is to destroy them in the Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And Anastasia, you have heard at an undisclosed time and place. You have heard talk of the Blood War and the constant battle that goes on between the demons of the Abyss and the devils of the Nine Hells, and they seemed to be currently pleased with how things are going because the battle lines at the moment were in Avernus, the top layer of the Nine Hells, so that any demon killed in the fighting just comes back to the Abyss instead. And they were, worried that things that had recently happened, there was a new archdevil in charge of Avernus, it seems, and they were worried that the fighting would return to the levels of the Abyss up the river Styx, and then any casualties they suffered would be gone for good. Although the infinite gibbering hordes of the Abyss is a difficult thing to deplete. Hey, Baron.
Okay, and so did Zakan get a sort of sense of, like, if the ones that came through, if they were destroyed, like, the door would close behind them kind of thing? Their presence here is what's keeping the rift open.
I have heard how this works. There is, if a portal is opened, there is a certain amount of time before it becomes permanent. So there is a window in which to close it and to stop anything else coming through. But if left unchecked, then the lore that you seek there, that you discover, does have instances of portals becoming permanent and having to be constantly guarded.
Gotcha.
I think
so. Need to be.
I think it's Dragonspear. I think Dragonspear Castle think this goes back to Curse of Strahd lore as well. Dragonspear Castle, like down south, like past Baldur's Gate and down that part of the Sword Coast, is the head of the main headquarters for the Order of the Lycan Blood Hunters, and they are there keeping the abyssal forces back from it. There is a permanent portal open in the dungeons of that castle, I believe.
Interesting. So, did they get any sense of like how to close those, or is it like Celestials do it?
Yeah, because these are just records of things that have happened.
Yeah,
It's not. There aren't instructional manuals or any like texts on how to do things. Just things that have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think with that knowledge, that's probably good. It's just like, okay, celestial power can destroy these things and potentially close these rifts if it's in time.
Yep. And there's I think with that very good wisdom check there, I think you find some records of great heroes doing it with certain strong magical items and things as well. Artifacts being used.
Yeah.
And Anastasia, is there anything you're particularly looking for in the past? Or is that... let's leave it where it is.
She probably doesn't need to know more than she already does. in her state.
Okay. Any questions about Fraser Blue and his threats towards you?
I think she kind of knows why too.
Okay. That's it. Kayla, is there anything you would like to look for?
Actually, yeah. After hearing Lolth's cackle, I think he would try to look for if there is any indication, any record at all, or anything that would help him to understand when, if possible, the demonic summonings to Lolth occurred. Like how Drow Society will summon demons in the name of Lolth to help them in their quests. Maybe understand where that started, what the typical ritual might be, if any of that's cataloged.
Okay. And then give me the wisdom check.
Could I do before that roll? I read the rest of this spell. It's new. Sorry. At higher levels, I can target additional creatures. Could I swap the level I cast it at so that this Owl's Wisdom was granted to my other two party members here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So with
So
advantage.
they expand that power out even more, and it'll be for Anastasia and Caleb as well, casting at the 4th level.
Nice.
Bless you for that. All right. Wisdom is, we'll call it advantage, and that is 21 total.
Excellent.
I'm
Okay.
reading that right.
So you also very quickly are able to navigate through, again, these markings all, and the cataloging is all in Dwarven script, for the giants, but you can read it effortlessly with the magic that's, throughout this place. And you, let's have a look here. You are able to very quickly make your way and navigate your way through, and again, there's no instructional manuals. So how it's done is not mentioned at all, but you do find just many instances of the priestesses and the matriarchs of the Drow Society, the Uda Drow Society, down here in the Underdark, calling on Lolth, and there are lots of mentions of the Yochlol. Do you know the Yochlol?
I don't think Mike is familiar.
Okay. The Yoklol are mentioned as the handmaidens of Loth, extensions of the Spider Queen's will, dedicated to her, acting as spies, taskmasters, and agents of villainy. They attend the goddess in the demon web pits, but Loth sometimes dispatches Yoklols to the material plane to guard her temples and to aid her most devout priestesses. Yoklols don't form outside Loth's realm of the demon web, and they serve no demon lords except Loth. And they are tall, weird yellow things. Hang on, I'll probably be able to find one on there, Roll20, to show you. Yoklol.
That actually describes me, weird yellow
Oh, yeah,
thing.
here it is. Ta-da!
Oh no.
Yoklol.
What do you have for me?
2 seconds.
Library.
Roll20 trying to catch up here. So, Khan, do you want to jump into Roll20, mate?
I thought I was in Roll20. Am I not?
2 clicks.
Oh, it just suspended
Oh, okay.
because I had been interacting with it.
Gotcha.
There you
Ram saver.
Yeah. Tall, weird yellow things. Yep. As I will show you in a moment there, Daisy, as Roll20 catches up here. Sorry, folks. My computer's trying to do all the things. All of the things. The suspense. The suspense.
Dun dun.
And there are several instances documented, Kalo, of these Yoklols being summoned by priestesses, and a couple of instances of them angrily appearing and tearing the priestess to pieces. As Lolth be like that.
Oh, good.
As Loth do.
As she do.
Shooby dooby doo.
Here they are.
Oh, those things!
Are you looking at stream?
Okay.
Little guy.
Yeah, I'll share it with you as players as well.
Small boy. Look
Not
at
small,
them.
not small at all.
No, they're very big.
No, giant,
On all
giant
20, very small.
Uzi. Yeah, giant melting candles. That's right, OG. Yeah. they seem more Zugtamoy than Mucus Groot. Yes, in the fingers, like it.
Mucus Groot.
I am sick.
I am Snoot.
Snoot. Can we canonize
It's not
that?
great.
Snoot.
It's not Groot. But yeah, it feels more Zugtamoy than Lolth. But these are hers and hers alone.
Interesting choice. Maybe not her favorites, but they have their place in the family.
Basically, yeah, big mucus tree, big yellow mucus tree.
Okay. That.
I'm just gonna leave that there in case anyone just jumps into the stream at this point.
Jump
No
scare.
context.
It's like, why is the
No
music so
context.
calm if this is what's happening?
Why
Zero
is no one
context.
panicking?
Yes.
It's our 12th one this week.
Oh, I hope not.
It's all
They
nice.
are hefty. I suppose it'd be okay at the moment, but 12 in a week would be a rough ride. There, let's see our 10.
What?
Just right. That
Just right.
Goldilocks
That's
zone. Okay.
Thank you, John. That is perfect for me.
But yeah, that's you, and there are and you I think again a 20 plus roll. You find lots of cool nuggets. There are instances, and I think being part of the Drow society, you knew this already as well. But there are lots of instances of people displeasing the priestesses and Lolth and being turned into Driders, which are these large spider drow hybrid things, which is seen as a punishment.
Good to know.
See, wasn't I nice? I didn't put any of these against you in the Dwarven Citadel. Just commit you with shadow demons instead.
It's fair. I could imagine the immense reaction. I'm kind of glad that Corbin is kind of out for this session, because this would be another part of the menagerie if we got unlucky.
Yet. Well, I say you haven't met any in their natural form. They are very, very good shape changers.
Oh no.
Give the shape changer a shape changer. What could go wrong?
No, they do true polymorph.
Ooh.
I'll come back to the
Anyway.
group with the information.
Yeah,
Just kind of relate to them.
That is added. They are small. That's baby Groot, the baby Groot version there on Roll20. I hope everyone's appreciating the hook horror I've added. Little small, so small.
It's our baby boy.
And I give you your fire beetles there, Anastasia. Actually, I think that fire warden Galabdur is just following the beetle around. Is he?
It's cute.
Okay. So yeah, if there's nothing else you're looking for down here, then you are free to make your way out into the stacks themselves. If you're curious about the current state of any of the places you visited, the present, you could get a vision in the present.
Yeah, I think the
Very
present would be
curious.
the next destination.
Okay. Now there is a slight delay. The just for knowledge for our players here, the stone giant Urmus, who's in charge of the present, has lots of awakened creatures throughout the Underdark that deliver the news. Again, mostly focused on stone giant enclaves. There's lots of stuff about Gracklestug because the stone giants are there that you helped. So, you make your way back out and share the knowledge that you've discovered, and back out to the walkways and stairs, and start kind of climbing and back up towards the present archives. As you're clambering up the stairs, one of those echoes, thank you, Soundscape, booms into existence, and you see a diminutive pair, two this time, making their way down the stairs towards you. And you see this time more gnomes. This time a little different. An older gnome than you saw before, Zakarn, and a younger female gnome. And the older gnome has a long grey beard and is leaning on a staff. And on top of the staff is a rather angry bird, twittering away. And they're wearing kind of long grey robes and a grey cap. And beside them is there a young female gnome with a musical instrument slung over her shoulder. And she's kind of tripsing along behind him. And he comes down and... Zakan. Sorry, I just remembered that you would very much know who this is. It's Arafor. Do not recognize the girl, but it's Arafor Town, so it must be an echo from the past. And
Yeah, I think
he doesn't.
they maybe encountered each other in
he does-
Blingenstone or that kind of thing.
No. You remember you visited him on the island in Bitopia,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
right? In that vision, when you realized that Tidra was missing,
Mhm.
you talked with Arafor instead because he was on the island, and he doesn't actually. But also, sorry, Stephen. For Stephen's sake, this is Arafor Town. Zakan has lost all memory of who Arafor is, as has everyone else in the Wakiverse.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Stephen's sake, it's Arafor Town, and
Gotcha.
he comes down and he doesn't recognize you. This is a time in the past before he met Zakan, because if he would remember you, but this is long ago, clearly. And he comes down and he's like, "Oh, Jimmy, shut up for just a moment." And the bird's just like, and just like clamps its beak shut. Sorry about that. Good day, everyone. Yeah,
Well met.
a fruitful visit, I trust.
Fruitful enough. Sorry, are you coming from today, tomorrow, or yesterday? Just for context.
Jimmy Jimmy gets very angry. Like, Anastasia, elbow again, please, Anastasia. It's like, don't
Why do you
ask
keep
when they're from. There's one rule.
Oh my god, you can't just ask people where they're from.
When they're from.
When they're from.
Yes.
Anastasia just steps on his foot this time.
Was I not clear?
You're talking about the middle child. He's gonna screw this up somehow.
Wants to know.
Every time. Arafor just shakes his head. He's like,
Fruitful is.
Don't
One way to
treat
put
the
it.
girl. Don't teach the girl bad habits. Now, Eliwick, as I told you, you're not to ask such questions. And the little girl looks up. Okay, grandfather. Yes, I trust, as I said, you have come to find what you're looking for. I'm just on a repeat visit, showing my granddaughter the ropes. I feel there might be a time in the future she needs to be here. I won't be around forever.
Wait, Zakan, just whispering, Zakan, you don't think when we were on the surface in the forest before the Spider Queen, you don't think that little girl is. Do you remember?
Eliwick Tan is definitely still in your memories, yes. And you know the name Eliwick that he just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. I see. And like, I think in thinking of Eliwick, then like they try to think of their connection. Like, why do I know this person? There's just like that weird, like staticky gap there.
Just white noise.
Yeah. And it kind of bothers them for a second, but they crouch down, as I feel is polite when like discussing with small folk.
Small folk.
And they say, "And what is it that you are seeking here, Eliwick? What is it that you hope to learn from the past?"
Oh, grandfather's just showing me the ropes, you know? Apparently there's all sorts to be found here. And I'm gonna go lots of places and see lots of people and do lots of things. And we
With
smash
that kind of attitude.
we smash cut here back to Monday's opening of Tomb of Annihilation and to the Bay of Chult just outside the port of Nyanzaru, and a wild space guppy, like fish, erupts from the water, flying up into the air with an adult Eliwick Tan on its back. She rushes off to combat the Xerixian Empire. Do join us, folks, for our Spelljammer campaign starting next month. And
Never started venturing too early.
Oh, Eliwick's done lots and lots of things. She's actually originally from Magic the Gathering.
Ooh.
She's a very beautiful Magic the Gathering card. The art on it is amazing. I'll share it. I'll stick it in the chat later. Yeah, she's a planeswalker in Magic the Gathering, and she features in Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Briefly, which is where she became Garifor's granddaughter in our world.
And an interesting question. So this version of Arafor Tan hasn't met Zakan yet, and
Nope.
Zakan doesn't remember who they are. But Zakan's mask is specifically designed like in sort of veneration of Tidra, like it draws from her symbols and things like that, and also their staff is carved with the divine language, which I feel like would probably make reference to
Bitopia as well.
and the power derived from that. So does Arafor Tan take any of that in?
I think, yeah, as the moment kind of goes on a little bit, he would notice that, yes. He's like, I see. You are well-travelled too.
Mostly here in the Underdark, but occasionally other places in dreams and
He kind
temporary
of
visits.
reaches up a kind of, semi not there, wrinkled hand, and traces some of the Bitopian imagery on the staff. It's like, you have been to the mirrored world.
Yes.
It's where I usually call home. Lovely place.
And perhaps I'll see you there sometime.
Maybe. Well, very well.
Nods.
Come on, Eliwick. You know what I always say? You have to be in the right place at the right time. Let's not be late. And they traipse off past the stairs, past you, and disappear into the shelves of the archives of the past.
In the right place at the right time.
So I made the executive decision to do this when Buns wasn't here. So it's only hard on me and not on her.
Aww.
People in chat, Arafor was the sibling of my first ever online character and the sibling of Buns' character in that campaign. And is no more in the Wackyverse.
You left Buns out of this session, but you brought me into it.
Hey, someone's got to get hurt.
Just because you killed him.
Whoops.
And you start to climb up the stairs again. Now, as you make your way towards the archives of the present, let me switch up here. This is that was the archives of the past mood. Let us move into the present here. As you clamber up towards the sparkling crystals above and the zigzagging stairways and walkways, you... Lexi can do the GTA walk. I've seen that. You see something very interesting. Clambering their way, or wandering their way across one of the walkways that your stairway intersects with, is someone else, but clearly not an echo. They are here. They are not washed out. There's not that kind of fractaling, kind of distortion. This is clearly someone who is currently in the library at the same time as you. And you see, as you reach their level and have them start coming towards you, two figures approach. There is a withered drow, clad in dark, flowing robes, and lumbering behind him, a hulking, grey-skinned monster, resembling a spiky humanoid toad, its wide mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. The drow's pinched and lined face speak to his great age, and his red eyes narrow and appraise you carefully as he approaches. And as you all kind of fan out to greet them, the drow's expression doesn't change. But there is a ka-dunk, 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 as the large, monstrous figure seems to almost skip in place. Anastasia. The voice that you haven't heard for a very long time once more telepathically speaks into your mind. Anna! It's you, right? I can tell it's you. It's you. You look different. You do your hair, makeup, nails, bones.
Bones.
All of them?
Of course, all of them.
Now, Kalo, Zakan, you don't hear any of this, but the drow kind of like looks around at his death-slad bodyguard. He's like, Cleve, what are you doing? Stop prancing about like a little puppy. Apologies. Greetings. My name is Vizerin. I am here on business. Perhaps, as I see you are not echoes of some different time, perhaps we can help each other. As there is only one reason I can see to be here for anyone at the present time. And Anastasia, you hear in your mind Cleve's voice again. Anna, I know what's going on, but he's really pissed off about something. Real bee in his bonnet. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, what'd you do this time?
Not me! Not me, no! Right, no! I've been good, Cleve. I have! Got sharpened claws and everything. Didn't forget.
She's gonna sneak a piece of jerky next to her, like trying to hide it to show to Cleve. Just,
I'm working.
No jerky on the clock.
So Zakan, Kalo, you see this death slab like grab a hold of itself and settle down and loom threateningly behind Vizerin. And
His body language seems friendly enough, so
yeah, it's trying to be threatening,
like weirdly friendly.
Yeah, but yeah, there was definitely something there. And Vizerin says, "Yes, I am Vizerin." And I think he just kind of defaults, kind of talks to Kalo more, and actually speaks Undercommon to you, Kalo. My name is Vizerin. This is my protection, Cleve. Although here in the library it is not so much a necessity, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, I would assume you will not need much protection unless the books have a lot of lethal information. We are here on business as well, but I am curious. What you believe to be our business and your business aligning depends entirely on why you are out of Menzoberranzan.
Do not try to play that card with me. Look at the company you keep. You are clearly a stranger to the city yourself.
Yeah, this is fair. But I am expatriate. What about you?
Well, see, it is not a place I wish to reside anymore. Are you? Do you have any markings or any insignia of Illustrate?
Yes.
Do you show that or anything?
I think it's
is
pretty
it
distinct.
visible already?
It would be. I would think the brooch that's covering his cape is like the half crescent of Illustrae, and then the pommel of Lady Silverhair probably is another marking as well.
Yeah. By the way, don't worry if any of you don't speak Undercommon. Again, the comprehend languages is permanently in effect here. So you can hear that it's being spoken, but you understand what's happening.
It's Zakan's native language, but
yeah,
I think they'll what they'll do instead is they'll interact with this person in common just as an interesting note and not let on that they speak Undercommon.
Yeah. It's like, you know, in news reports where they dub over it, but you can still hear the original audio in the background. Like I see that in Japan all the time, right? I'm always trying to desperately catch what the English is, but then the Japanese dubbing is too loud over it. So basically, you're hearing what's being said in a language you understand, like over, and then in the background you can hear the original language still.
Is it in a kind of like bored narrator's voice?
No, it's just the same.
And it's the same person no matter who's speaking.
No,
as well.
same intonation, same mannerisms. Those are irrespective of grammar and alphabets. He
Does
He
Anastasia
understands
speak
Undercommon anyway.
Undercommon? Yeah, okay. I was wondering.
yeah.
Anastasia knows Abyssal, Common, and Undercommon.
Hey, let's
There you go.
see if I can get our friend Vizerin here.
Yeah,
There
it's
must
what
be an
Zakhan
art.
defaults to. They're actually not that confident in common. It's like heavily accented common, I think.
yeah. Yeah, here he is.
Gotta keep up on those Duolingos for common, man.
I know, cause Daisy's doing the Draconic Duolingo at the moment.
Hey, gambare.
Gambare.
Gambare, gambare.
That's how most people learn Japanese from anime impressions. Those are also good though. They catch it the mannerisms so well.
Yeah.
So there's Vizerin. Do we have Cleve as well? Are we so lucky?
I want to see
No.
this lad. No.
No. I just get the regular Death's Lad picture, I guess.
And just imagine it cuter and happier.
Death's Lad. There he is. Wah. Hello.
He's still cute, kind of.
Oh, he is cute.
Again, timing for Buns not being here.
Oh no! Could you imagine?
Grab your
I'm
hands, grab your
So
hands.
many cute things coming through.
Grab your hands.
I'm working. I'm adopting you.
Okay,
You're
so,
working
yeah.
for me now.
Vizerin. I do like how so many of the drow names actually do sound French, even though we use that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Chris Perkins. Chris Perkins did drow with a French accent, which is why I do it. And then here's Cleve, and he is grinning like that at the sight of Anastasia. Although Kalo and Zakhan haven't twigged that yet.
I just think he's friendly.
Yeah. And Vizerin gestures to you, Kalo, to your Elistrai insignia, and it's like, I see that your efforts are in the right direction. I have myself opposed the tyranny of Lolth for many centuries, and her wretched priestesses.
Emphasis on the wretched. Well, then perhaps we are aligned.
I hope so. Are you aware of the current predicament facing the Underdark?
Hold on, I just realized I switched from common to undercommon, even though we can all understand each other, so let me try
Yeah.
that again. To be frank, I think we've actually been encountering it a bit more since we've returned. Last I joined this group, they were fighting it, and we returned, we are still fighting it. The demonic incursion, which we have learned recently of its origin, is pressing, but we are trying to determine where the infection is currently at.
It is reassuring that others are aware of the problem. And I myself have come here to confirm my suspicions and also find a way to combat it.
So, what have you found?
I suggest that we separate and cover more ground and find as much information as possible, but I would suggest that you perhaps focus on Menzoberranzan and a certain archmage. There is one by the name of Gromf Bayenray, and I believe it is he who is to blame.
Your suspicions are correct, from
Two
what
steps
we have seen.
behind.
Really, just as I thought. Well, let us continue our researches and discover what we may.
I'm curious as to why you want Gromf to pay. I want to kill him. I've spoken with Jean Axel before.
I wish an end to this infernal invasion. the demonic attacks threaten us all. And our way of life here. I shall see you soon, and we may share more notes then. Come, Cleve. Let us about our research. And he sweeps past you, his robes just trailing behind him, and the Death's Lad clumps in his wake. But he goes very close to Anastasia and just side palms the jerky as he goes past. You gonna be here for a bit? Or are you back for good? The tower's not the same without you.
Hopefully I'm back for good.
Look. What Vizran did. I'm sure he doesn't, or he didn't mean it. I'm sure he's very, very regretful. So, water under the tunnel, yeah?
No, it's not.
But
I'll pay him back. Don't worry.
Give him another chance. He doesn't even recognize you. But I knew. Yeah.
Well,
He's like, this conversation.
Smarter than him.
He's like walks past you, and this conversation is just happening in your head as you walk away from each other.
Well, obviously you're smarter than him.
Unlikely. Although, I'm pretty sharp. Yeah. See you, Batty.
See you around.
And as the two groups move on their way, Vizran and Cleve down towards the archives of the past, Kalo, Anastasia, Sakan, and Corbin climbing up to the archives of the present, we shall stop for today and see what other revelations the library has in store next time. And Kalo and Sakan, sorry for having to deal with meta knowledge that your characters don't know.
Yeah. All part
It's
of
all
the
good.
thing.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please do, as Cuz Daisy has there, jump into the giveaway. Rishi too, good luck. We have the fabulous Encounters in Chult from CZRPG, timely logo, which will be given to one lucky person today. So jump in there, ! Enter for the chance to win. And thank you, everybody. Everyone, do that. As Cuz and Grim and OG are all telling you to. Oh, you already have that, Rishi? Okay, no worries, man. Thank you. If we get you, we'll draw someone else. Thanks for shouting that out. Okay, so yes, that's all for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and getting lots of nuggets and some Wackyverse lore in there as well. Little Eliwick Tan origin story. And we shall be back next time to delve deeper. Well, no. Higher into the library.
Do ascent.
We started in the depths. Yes, ascending into the upper levels of the library, and what might be to be found there. Right. So we will be drawing the winner for the giveaway. So jump in there if you would like. Thanks, Marin. We'll be drawing the winner after we've said goodbye to these lovely people and talking to them. So we'll jump in there if you want to, and let us say goodbye to these fine folks. Kalo, who art thou onst said material planeth?
Well, thank you for quite a humble introduction. I am Amph. I'm Mike, Grim in chat. For now, until next month, you can find me here, Night of the Abyss, and sometimes in chat, hanging out. And yeah, 1 month. Wow, it's going up quick.
And then taking to the stars. Yes. The Light of Xerxes Spelljammer campaign starting next month with Mike and Patch and Mai from QuestJunkiesUK And new face on the channel, Safia, will be joining us. A brand new storyteller on the channel. Fabulous find. We were very lucky to find them. And looking forward to introducing them to everyone else. And all the characters and stuff. Now that you've feasted your eyes on all of the beautiful Tomb of Annihilation arts, next up we have the Spelljammer arts coming on its way. We're working Emma hard.
Poor Emma. We love you, Emma.
All of the arts. Okay, thank you. Anastasia. I think I've got it down now. I pronounced it right every time today.
Anastasia.
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 I just picture
Hello.
Emma Watson telling me off in my head. It's Anastasia.
Not Anastasia. Hello, I am Smallbird Lex. You can find me at Smallbird Lex and Smallbird Art. I do commissions for art, I do D&D, I do cosplay. Gun to head, I will be your cup of tea. You will like something. You can find me here on Wednesdays. You can find me on Sir Pepper's channel on Saturdays for my level 20 campaign, where I grappled a dragon. I'm just saying, like, a void dragon grappled it.
Nice.
Amazing.
Nice.
So, if you want to go see that, you can check out the YouTube channel for updates and Sir Pepper's to see it on Saturdays.
Thank you kindly. And Zakan, you good self.
Hi, I am Steven. I have played Zakan, and this is the only stream that you can find me on, but if you want to see whatever Japanese or architecture language type thing I'm talking about, you can follow me at Distant Shores on Twitter, and you can read about Japan's micro-seasons on my newsletter, 72 micro-seasons.
Thank you. Awesome. And we are QuestJunkiesUK. We like to play lots of D&D and other TTRPGs, and you can find us here first thing tomorrow or later on today, depending where we are in the world, as we return to Ravenloft for the corrupted carnival of the Revalia, as our adventurers have been whisked by the Dark Lord's magic away from the part of the carnival they were in. What awaits them as they arrive on the other side, we shall see, as the Dark Lord's anger has broken through his entertainer's facade, and things are getting a little bit more serious over there. Now, that will be us until Friday, and on Friday we'll be back over on the southern coast of the Sea of Fallen Stars as we play our sneak preview playthrough of CZRPG's Chasenta's Tyranny. The fabulous folks joining us for that on Friday, as they are whisked away to the Feywild. Everyone's being whisked all over the place. They're being whisked off to the Feywild, and there is going to be some courtroom proceedings as various Feywild contracts and bargains are at cross purposes and need to be restored. Will Emma, speaking of Emma, Emma's character Lucio be able to stay in the material plane, or will the Archfey Zabilna, restored to her proper place in the Feywild by those Wild Beyond the Witchlight folks, take payment of what was promised her and take Luce away to the Feywild? Come and join us as I change from this phoenix to another phoenix with an objection! And we shall see just what lies in store for those folks in the Feywild there. Well, in the Shadow Realm, I should say, sorry. More specifically, the
Sending you to the Shadow Realm, Kaiba.
Unseelie courts. Indeed. Right, you can find out everything that's going on with us at our socials and on the Discord. And we have the VODs to catch up with. Let me drop all those various things there if you want to know the fun news about what's coming up. Lots of cool one-shots and new campaigns happening and art's being revealed before anyone else goes on the Discord before it's released into the public. And then if you want to catch up, I'm getting better. I'm getting closer to being on point to like uploading the VOD from the day before. So close.
Ooh.
Do catch up on the YouTube there. Tomb of Annihilation is going up the day after. So if you want to see that first session, it is on YouTube already. It was a great start with a good cliffhanger ending. And we shall look forward to joining you on those adventures as they continue. And you can see all of our past ones there as well. Descent into Avernus that was mentioned today. If you want to see how that battle between Zariel and Yunogu went down, it is in the VODs, I believe. We were streaming by that point. Yes, we definitely will, because I remember I have videos of their reaction to seeing Yunoku, the giant token at the end of the village road. They're like, oh my god. Mason's reaction was priceless. Okay, thank you, everybody. Absolute pleasure as always. But let us say thank you to one person in particular, in a different way, as we draw our winner. Good luck, everybody. Closing up those entries. Boop. Alright. Today's copy of Encounters in Chult from the fabulous CZRPG goes to... Cuz Daisy! Congratulations!
Congrats, Daisy.
I saw someone on Twitter saying that they wanted to DM. Lots of opportunities. You got a few giveaways under your belt now, Daisy. You know, the excuses are quickly running out. Okay, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Absolute pleasure as always, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. But do stick around for that raid, as we are going to head off and see some of our friends. Who's on at the moment? Our Guild Superior still going? No. Let's see. Who's on? Who's alive? Ooh, it's been a little while. Let's go and see our felted friends over at Perception Studio. Looks like
Cucumber.
Looks like Cucumber's not there today. Just just the others. So yes, it should be slightly more on the rails than others. Okay, so do stick around and join the wonderful folks over at Perception Studio. Awesome players and filtered friends alike there. And we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon, wherever and whenever that may be. Thank you, everybody. And that is that. But you know what to do. Stick around for that raid if you've got them. Let those phoenixes fly. Until next time, as we like to say around these parts, Oyasumi. Bonsoir. A massive thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed that session. And let us also say thank you to the wonderful folks who support the channel: CZRPG, Phoenix Dice, Trollord Games, and of course the fabulous Sirenscape. If you would like to check them out, follow the links in chat, and of course jump on those tasty coupons if you want to get some discounts on awesome things for your games. CZRPG is a constant source of inspiration with their fantastic products, interestingly written, beautiful maps, dynamic encounter design, original monsters and magic items. Do join their newsletter for all of the information about what's going on with them. And of course, where would we be without those gorgeous Click-Clack Mathrocks from Phoenix Dice, an amazing producer of interesting designs, guaranteed to roll well for players, not so well for GMs sometimes, but that's the way we play. Now, if you would like to support this amazing company with their recycled materials and very eco-friendly way of doing business, do give them a click and look at all of the beautiful, beautiful dice that they have over in their store. Trollord Games, all of our friends over there, they have their own original Castles and Crusades system, lots of stuff for D&D and all sorts of amazing TTRPG stuff in their store. Click on that link and get your adventure underway. And of course, last but not least, by any measure you care to employ, Sirenscape, a fantastic source of music and sound effects that just takes your game to a new level. Fantasy, science fiction, mystery, heists, whatever type of game you're playing, whatever system you're playing, Sirenscape has the sounds for you. And you can pipe that all over the world to wherever your players are through their online player. And if you would like to, you can get yourself a free trial by following the link. And if you become a Super Siren, you can get access to all of their hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of options, make your own original sound sets, and support us too via our affiliate link there in chat. Okay, that's all for today. Another massive thank you, and we look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Stick around for the raid if you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. But till next time, as we like to say around these parts, Oyasumi.